Hello there. Isn't it strange how the whole of Europe, if not the whole world, looks at Brexit and thinks it's an isolated UK problem? Today has seen the usual buzzy noise about Brexit, with talk of second referendums, rumours of Chequers being both dead and alive, David Davis saying that Angela Merkel is out to stop the UK getting a good deal, Boris Johnson and his New Deal which has morphed from Canada to Super Canada, and the reports that the EU will hit the UK with tit-for-tat immigration restrictions. Those that decried the 2016 referendum as being too simple a question for a subject that is far too complicated for the ordinary proles now desperately want another referendum put to exactly the same proles on exactly the same subject to get a different result. And if they got it, they would claim that everyone suddenly understood what they were voting for this time. Theresa May is still travelling the political circuit, pointing at the parrot nailed to its perch in her Chequers cage, saying how chirpy it's looking today. And David Davis says what is blindingly obvious to the rest of us, that the German Chancellor Angela Merkel is out to ensure the UK does badly out of any deal. Boris is still pushing for some sort of huge UK-EU deal in the face of a totally implacable bunch of Eurocrats. Surely he must realise by now that we are now headed for a no-deal WTO Brexit, with last-minute measures being put in place by both sides to keep the show going, and that actually this will work out quite well for the UK in the long term. And now we hear that the EU will play tit-for-tat with immigration. Whatever rules the UK puts in place for the benefit of the UK economy, the EU says it will do exactly the same in reverse, as if it was some sort of punishment, when what it really should be doing is looking at the people it needs and adjusting its own immigration policy to meet its own requirements. At the moment, though, the EU looks set on accepting half of Africa, but keeping UK citizens out on a political basis and not an economic one. Anyway, back to the subject. The reason I say that Brexit is not just a UK problem is not because of the impact it could have on the EU, but because of the depth of EU control over the UK, and that also means the control it has over other EU member states. I have always been surprised at the almost dismissive way that the citizens of the other EU 27 nations accept the talk of Eurocrats taking more control, or in their parlance, more Europe. Can the ordinary EU citizen not see that if the UK is finding a European Union that is only half entrenched into our system hard enough to dislodge, then they would find it doubly so? You have to remember the UK has many opt-outs, as well as being outside both the Schengen and Eurozones. Other member states have gone all in. Where does that leave them in the independence and sovereignty league tables? There are many truly patriotic people throughout the EU who still believe in their own nation and believe it has a place in its own right in the world. Or are there? Or have they all just thrown the national towel in and accepted that their country of birth no longer has the right to represent itself on the world stage, no longer has the individual right to defend itself, or control its own borders, or even decide on its own way of life? That it first has to make sure that the EU commissioners are happy with what they want to do, whether it be in the field of economics, defence, religion, culture, borders, immigration, or just about anything else that you can mention. Are they happy that the EU will decide whether or not the system of government they wish to live under is actually right for them? Are they happy with the move towards total EU convergence that is being woven quietly around them, a convergence that will, in the end, remove all national sovereignty? Do they not, from time to time, feel the restrictions of the political straitjacket that has been placed on them? Can they not, through the prism of Brexit, see what the European Union truly is? Can they not transpose our position to that of their own place within the EU? Or do they somehow mistakenly think that they are in control of it and can dictate what goes on to their own advantage? Or that they are somehow different? the penny dropped for the majority of voting Brits on the 23rd of June 2016. I wonder whether the euro will drop for many in the EU over the coming years. Now, if they are content to dissolve their own countries and hand them over to the EU control, then good luck to them, because I think they will need all the luck they can get. But I think that as the EU Commission races towards the EU superstate it craves for, at ever more breakneck speed, it will dawn on the ordinary EU citizen that they have been sold a pup. I just hope that point comes sooner rather than later in order to limit the inevitable fallout. If you are a Brexiteer like me, then you have to realise that every single ardent Remainer is one of those that would celebrate the dissolution of the UK as a nation state. They would use the arguments of economics, jobs and the Irish border, or anything else that sprang to their minds, to put the UK in the position of being nothing more than an EU region with absolutely zero powers over its own destiny. How sad is that, and how terrifying? So, please let us all know what you think by leaving a comment below. Thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.